Craniosacral therapy, also known as craniosacral therapy, is a relaxing and gentle type of bodywork that pays special attention to the sacrum, spinal column, and bones of the head. Since many of us harbor stress in our shoulders and neck, which leads to headaches and migraines, it's important to release tension in these areas. The main goal of craniosacral therapy is to ensure our bones are in their natural positions, which decreases stress created by chronic injuries. When our bones remain in their intended positions, we experience fewer headaches, neck or back pain, joint disorders, and more. 28 million Americans suffer from consistent migraine headaches that are usually triggered by stress and lack of sleep. Those who receive craniosacral therapy experience fewer migraines and better quality of sleep than those who don't. What makes this type of therapy more appealing is the fact that the effects can last up to 3 weeks after the session ends. Not only is this type of massage extremely relaxing, but it will help calm the muscles of your scalp. We tend to forget that our scalp muscles are responsible for forming our facial expressions, which creates tension. For those of us who stare at a computer all day, or we experience a lot of stress, these muscles become strained, which means taking the time to help them relax is important. It's important to remember that not only do our necks and shoulders hold tension, but they can also harbor emotions. Such emotions don't always come from traumatic experiences either. Perhaps someone cut you off in traffic last week, and you got angry. Or perhaps you experienced a moment of sorrow after hearing about a recent news story. There could be some residual anger and sadness trapped in these areas of your body. Craniosacral therapy can help with letting those build-up emotions go.
Does your baby cry even though you have changed and fed him or her? Are you constantly holding your baby upright because he or she cries when you lay them flat? Does baby experience feeding problems such as latching difficulties, flailing, vomiting, arching, or being distressed during or after a feed? In fact, are you constantly feeding? Does baby look only in one direction when lying down? If you are having such problems, maybe we might be able to help. Although we are not pediatricians, our extensive experience as cranial osteopaths could make all the difference. There are a certain number of cases in which babies suffer from an undiagnosed birthing trauma, head or neck strain. These can cause the newborn baby pain. If the head or neck has become sore, it's no wonder a baby will want to be lifted up and held. In fact, anything to take pressure off the painful area. Feeding problems can also arise from neck problems, as well as from jaw problems. If your baby's yawn is skewed, it may be worth having it checked, as a skewed yawn can be a sign of jaw problems. Assuming the doctors cannot find any cause for your child's distress, you may want to consider the possibility that head and neck pain can masquerade as colic and in some cases reflux. Common signs of head and neck pain also include arching of the neck, arching of the back, needing to be held, crying when laid down, overfeeding, feeding difficulties, crying midway through feeding, flailing around on the breast, needing a dummy all the time, using the breast as a dummy, always looking in one direction, and so on. To an experienced cranial osteopath, we can make sense of these often confusing symptoms and help your newborn baby to enjoy a calmer, peaceful start to his or her new life. An experienced cranial osteopath can work out where the symptoms are coming from. We look for areas of tenderness and areas of muscle spasms that might be causing hurt to your baby. Treatments are very gentle, and often you will see your newborn baby relaxing and enjoying the treatment in front of your own eyes. Helping your newborn baby is not just a question of cranial treatments. At the Living Center Clinic, we will help you to know how to handle your newborn child, to recognize the signs of distress before it arises, and give practical hints and tips on what you can do at home to keep baby happy. Our aim at the Living Center Clinic is to help each newborn baby and their families achieve a calmer and joyful start to the lives of their newborn child.
你豔陽斜照，心興奮怎麼遮掩？回味撞人無數，天真的可愛笑臉，沒有了困倦煩惱，拋走了世俗負累，來共醉於此刻歌聲裏，抱着溫馨美妙，多動人尋夢調，傾出光輝歲月。
Because in craniosacral therapy, it's very important to have that free movement of the sacrum in between both hip bones. I personally see a lot of people that have chronic pain, that have trauma or high anxiety or have tinnitus or whiplash or concussion, and then I work a lot with the head and the bones, and I assess the movements that the bones make. In the skull, I work with the intracranial membranous system inside the head, which is the tissue inside your brain. And if there's been a fall or even severe trauma, then usually this is quite impacted, and I would feel for that and try and nudge that along to come back into balance and to in alignment. Another thing that we work with is sinus problems. This, for instance, is your superior sagittarius sinus. We will work with that to get the fluid better flowing again and to address any sinus problems, congestion, restrictions that there might actually be.
我哋唔會俾過多嘅，因為如果我哋順應頭先嗰個自愈全身5部曲，我哋係 feel 住佢嘅筋膜嘅流動，去帶動佢嗰個身體嘅反應。咁嗰個係佢身體做主導，唔係我哋嘅計算。咁所以唔會過多嘅，佢夠咧佢就唔會 take up 㗎啦。咁所以頭先你話做幾耐咧？任何一陣洋葱皮嘅釋放都係一個好嘅治療嘅效果。喺我哋唔知頭唔知路，個 client 又唔知頭唔知路，原來 approach 話咧咁樣咧都有咧20% 大師級嘅療效。